Look exactly at how Lionel Messi receives a heavy pass coming at his feet with blinding speed. He does not stick his foot out and rigidly try to stop the ball dead on the grass. Why do so many young players fail at this exact moment? Because you are actively fighting the momentum of the football. When you aggressively lock your ankle and forcefully stomp your foot at a fast-moving ball, it acts like a solid brick wall. What happens when a football hits a brick wall? It violently bounces 5 yards away, right into the feet of the nearest eager defender. Watch closely at how Messi completely rewrites this basic rule of physics. Instead of fighting the ball, he physically absorbs its kinetic energy. How does he actually do that? As the ball is milliseconds away from touching his magical left boot, he slightly withdraws his foot backward in the exact same direction the ball is already traveling. He creates a soft, invisible cushion. This is called negative absorption in football terms. His ankle is not stiff. It is incredibly loose and flexible, acting exactly like a premium shock absorber on an expensive sports car. When you try to trap a hard pass, do you hear a loud slapping sound? Tell me the truth. If you hear that loud slap echoing across the pitch, your foot is way too rigid and your technique is entirely wrong. Messi's first touch is completely silent. He catches the ball delicately with his instep, letting it nestle perfectly onto the grass just 2 inches from his toes, instantly ready for his next devastating move. You need to completely stop kicking at the ball when it comes to you and start catching it with your foot like it is a fragile egg. But what happens when you have miles of open green grass in front of you? Do you still want to kill the ball dead at your feet? Absolutely not. This is exactly where you must study Cristiano Ronaldo's devastating directional first touch. Why would you ever stop the ball completely if your ultimate goal is to aggressively run forward? When Ronaldo receives a pass on the quick counterattack, he never traps it directly under his body. He uses his first touch as an explosive pass to his future self. How does he engineer this so perfectly? Before the ball even reaches him, his brain has already mapped out the exact location of the defender. As the ball arrives, he forcefully angles his foot to physically punch the ball into the empty space away from the incoming pressure. He does not absorb it, he consciously redirects it. Watch closely how he pushes the ball out from under his center of gravity, usually about 2 to 3 yards ahead. Why is this specific distance so incredibly critical? Because it gives him exactly enough room to instantly accelerate into a full, terrifying sprint without ever breaking his natural running stride. If the ball is stuck under your boots, you are physically forced to take tiny, nervous, choppy steps. You cannot sprint fast when you are tiptoeing. Ronaldo uses the inside or the outside of his foot to aggressively slice the ball into the open channel, immediately forcing the defender into a desperate foot race. Ask yourself right now, are your first touches slowing down your team's attack? Or are they instantly launching you into dangerous space? You need to start thinking of your first touch not as a way to control the ball, but as your very first offensive weapon. Now, let us intimately talk about what happens after the first touch. Let us dissect the absolute greatest close-control dribbler in the history of the sport. How does Lionel Messi keep the ball glued to his foot while running through a dense forest of 5 angry defenders? Is it magic? No, it is a strict mathematical rhythm. Watch closely at Messi's feet when he is running. He touches the ball on almost every single step he takes. This is known as high-frequency touching. Why is this frequency so unbelievably difficult to defend against? Think about it from the defender's panicked perspective. A defender is waiting for that tiny split second when the ball is slightly too far away from the attacker's foot so they can safely stick their leg in and tackle. But what happens if the ball is never, ever away from the foot? The defender's brain completely freezes. Messi uses the outside of his left foot, specifically the area right around his pinky toe, to softly nudge the ball forward with every single stride of his left leg. Why the outside of the foot and not the inside? Because running while using the outside of your foot allows your hips to remain perfectly straight and square to the goal, maintaining your absolute top sprinting speed. If you constantly use the inside of your foot to dribble, you naturally have to awkwardly turn your hips outward, which physically ruins your running mechanics and dramatically slows you down. Are you currently waddling down the pitch like a duck because you only use your instep? You need to drastically change your dribbling mechanics today. Messi keeps his center of gravity incredibly low, bending his knees severely, which allows him to change direction in a microsecond. The ball lives entirely inside what coaches call his personal cylinder, an imaginary circle around his body that defenders cannot physically enter without committing a foul. If you deeply want to dribble like Messi, you must painfully practice touching the ball softly with every single step you take until your leg muscles burn. But we must realistically address the fact that the football does not always stay nicely on the green grass. What do you do when a panicked teammate launches a 50-yard clearance high into the dark sky, and it is dropping rapidly toward you with heavy snow on it? Do you panic? Do you awkwardly swing your leg wildly in the air trying to volley it? Watch closely how Cristiano Ronaldo dominates aerial ball control. He is the absolute undisputed master of the chest trap. How does he make a ball falling from the sky look like it landed on a soft pillow? It all comes down to upper body biomechanics and supreme breath control. When you try to control a high ball with your chest, does it painfully bounce off your collarbone and fly away? That is because you are aggressively pushing your chest forward like a proud rooster. Ronaldo does the exact opposite. As the heavy ball drops, he severely leans his upper body backward, arching his spine to create an angled physical ramp. But here is the deepest, most invisible secret of his chest control. Exactly at the millisecond the leather ball makes contact with his pectoral muscles, Ronaldo forcefully exhales all the air out of his lungs. Why in the world would he aggressively breathe out? Because exhaling instantly collapses your ribcage, making your chest cavity physically softer and hollow. He creates a temporary vacuum that sucks the kinetic energy right out of the dropping ball. The ball hits his deflated chest, loses all of its terrifying momentum, and drops perfectly obediently to his waiting feet. Have you ever consciously thought about your breathing while controlling a football? Most young players hold their breath out of pure anxiety. You are literally making your body a stiff, bouncy trampoline. You must consciously train yourself to deeply exhale on impact. You lean back, you breathe out, you cushion the blow, and you instantly become a heavy nightmare for any defender trying to win the physical aerial battle. Let us transition back to the ground and explore another totally different, highly effective way to manipulate the football in dangerously tight spaces. Have you ever noticed that Lionel Messi rarely ever uses the bottom of his boots? He glides across the grass using the delicate sides of his feet. But look aggressively at Cristiano Ronaldo, especially during his Manchester United and Real Madrid days. He constantly utilizes the sole of his boot, his hard studs, to drag, roll, and aggressively chop the ball. Why is this technique so lethal? This entirely stems from his early background playing fast-paced futsal on hard courts in Portugal. When you roll your studs completely over the top of the ball, you have 360 degrees of absolute physical command. You can pull it backward, push it forward, or aggressively roll it sideways without ever having to lift or reposition your ankle. Ask yourself, when a massive, aggressive defender completely traps you against the sideline chalk, what do? You probably panic and try to toe poke it down the line blindly, right? Watch closely how Ronaldo expertly escapes that exact trap. He steps on the ball, invites the eager defender to step in, and then performs a lightning-fast sole roll across his own body, instantly creating a completely new angle of escape. Why does the defender always fall for it? Because human biology dictates that the defender focuses entirely on the static ball. When Ronaldo rolls it with his sole, the ball stays intimately hidden underneath his physical frame, meaning the defender has to actually foul him to reach it. Do you feel utterly useless when you have zero space on the wing? Start actively incorporating heavy sole rolls into your daily training. You must literally learn to feel the leather texture of the ball directly through the hard plastic studs of your boots without ever looking down. Speaking of looking down, let us talk about the ultimate mental killer of amateur ball control. Why do you constantly lose the ball even when nobody is directly tackling you? Let me tell you the painful truth. It is because you are aggressively staring directly at the football like it is a fascinating television screen. When the ball is passed to you, where are your eyes? They are glued to the moving ball, completely ignoring the complex, dangerous environment actively shifting around you.